to On the Range at Blackstone. I'm your host, Corey, and we are very fortunate to be joined by Captain Stephen Strickland of the Gastonia SWAT, as well as from Staccato, Lily and Mike. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you
for having
My
us.
pleasure.
Just really quickly, do you guys want to tell us a little bit about yourselves, maybe introduce yourselves, a little bit of background information?
Are you, Stephen?
Again, Stephen Strickland. I'm a captain with the Gaston County Sheriff's Office, and I'm also Assistant SWAT Commander. 25 years of service. Have various background doing things like K9, firearms instruction, armor. Happily married and have a son. So
Awesome. Lily?
I regret having him go first. That's hard to follow. I'm Lily Johnson. I've been with Staccato a little over 2 years. Director of Sales. Prior to that, I was in the military. I was a K9 handler in the Air Force for about 13 years, and then I retired from Orange County Sheriff's Department, where I was also a K9 handler. So, I mean, that was pretty okay, right, following Stephen's background there?
Absolutely. And Mike?
Mike Wing. I am a business development manager for the Southeast region of Staccato's consumer sales. Before that, I was in the military for 5 years as a Navy corpsman. I live outside Austin right now with a wife, and I'm expecting my first son this summer.
Nice. Awesome. Well, congrats.
Thank you.
I'm super excited about this podcast because pretty much everything you guys do is a favorite of mine. The 2011 platform is my favorite, but I'd like to start with Captain Strickland. You obviously are on a SWAT team and doing a ton of things and very involved in that space. Just kind of walk us through what it's like, a day or a week in that world.
SWAT specific or my job?
A little bit of both, if you don't mind.
So specifically to my job as captain over training, that's not the coolest job. That's a lot of mundane tasks, checking emails. I have plans every night going to bed of what the next day is going to be. It never happens. It's just part of it. So typical day would be wake, say a prayer. I say a prayer every morning, pray for my family, pray my friends, my coworkers, my team. Normally I'm on the phone, text or calls every single day before work and then late at night after. Every day's different. It's always something. The past 2 weeks we've had firearms qualifications. So the long days, long nights, SWAT specific, you dabble that in there. 2 weeks ago we had 3 SWAT call outs, 2 potential hostage situations. The other was a murder warrant. So you never know. Suspect out of New York. Seems like, at least specific to Gastonia, it seems like every criminal always has their place and they come through Gastonia somehow or another. So, yeah, it could be exciting on that end, but my day-to-day task is normally helping instruct and keeping up with the agency's overall training.
So even with SWAT specifically, then you guys are actually quite busy on that front.
Yeah, it's hit or miss. Like we go through periods where just kind of goes hand in hand with the crime rate. So if there's a lot of warrants, a lot of shootings, a lot of murders, things like that, we stay busy. Everything kind of trickles down. We slow down in that process. But even regardless of whether or not that's going on or call outs, there's always training. I mean, all the guys are training. We train 2 days a month. For the overall team, I also incorporated, and we have a hostage rescue team specific. It's some of our best operators, 8 specifically that I handpicked. They train an additional day, but all these guys are highly motivated. They're meat eaters. They train all the time. I mean, they're the guys that, as was I at that, back then, when I was still a door kicker and having a lot more fun at it. Mag changes, drills, constant up drills, gear checks, tweaking every little thing. So, I mean, that's just part of it. And that's stuff they never get paid for. I mean, they're just doing that on their own. So it takes a lot of dedication. So obviously we can go way in depth into all that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll be happy to. Well, I guess hearing that then is kind of a good segue for the two of you. Knowing that he uses Staccato, and we will get to that as well. First of all, what do you think hearing that type of stuff? And obviously you're not selling just guns. You're selling and both supporting people who are protecting us every day, protecting our communities. So give me a snapshot maybe of what Staccato's core mission is.
Well, I mean, obviously we love it when the first responders are carrying our pistol. I mean, back in the day, I wasn't privileged to carry a Staccato. I was told to carry a specific brand. And I just remember our SWAT guys rolling up on a call, and this is back in the day when we were single stacks, and they were rocking the Staccatos. And I was like, how can I be as cool as you know? But little did I know I was going to work for that company years down the road. Definitely, you know, U.S. Marshals carries our pistols, Texas Rangers, LAPD Metro. I mean, I'm very privileged to be working for a company that I'm very passionate, especially because of my background, because I know how important a pistol is. It's not just a pistol. It's not just a piece of equipment. It's like your lifeline. It's something that guys and girls are going into a scenario trust in that pistol like you would trust your partner. So it's super important for that pistol to be a great functioning pistol. And I mean, we back it up 100%, lifetime warranties on all of our pistols. Yeah, so.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry, I'm super passionate.
No, you're fine.
I'm like,
I mean, like, what do you think when you hear that?
You left me with nothing to say. No, it's honestly great. And like Lily said, you know, we really take a lot of pride in the fact that we can equip those who honor and serve us with the best that we have to offer. There's a lot of great brands out there. There's a lot of great products that have gotten us to this point. But we really take a lot of pride in the fact that, you know, we are truly built for heroes, and our workforce is 100% behind that motto and that mission statement. And every single day they come to work, they put their best foot forward to make sure that we outfit those who, like I said, protect and serve us with the absolute best that we could. So.
I love it. I fully support it. Yeah. And I guess let's just cut right to the chase, some of the exciting stuff. First, Captain Strickland, what do you carry and why?
We're blessed. We're fortunate. We made the Staccato transition almost 3 years ago, and we went straight to the XC. So, I mean, do you want me to go in depth as far as the transition? How we got it? All this,
depending on how deep it is, I definitely would like to hear, or I'd be interested in hearing, like what the procurement T&E process was specifically for you guys before you picked the gun.
Yeah, sure. So, at this period, I was fortunate enough to have some money. We upgraded a lot of equipment, gear, things like that, rifles, night vision, armored vehicles, robots, drones. We're very blessed again. You know, we're very fortunate on that aspect. And so naturally, how can we get better? What's the next evolution of this would be what we were carrying pistol wise. So we heard about Staccato. A lot of people were saying good things. So I contacted the rep, Rick. He had sent me some T&Es, several different models. Obviously after I shot the XC, I was like, wow, this is, you know, it's like one of those things where it's like you fire one shot and it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you kind of look around and you're like, wow.
Does anyone watch
everybody has their first.
Does anyone see that?
Yeah, everyone has their first story of like shooting an XC for the first time, and just pretty much the gun doesn't move. The slide just goes straight back.
I agree, but being skeptical, obviously, skeptical of everything, I was like, there's no way this thing can have durability and be dependable. So I lined the team up. They sent us like 5 or 6 20-round mags. I'm like, let's do a burn down. So it's at a training day. Of course, they were excited about it. They're like, yeah, let's do this. So top off 20 rounds, line up, and I think we shot 800 plus rounds. I mean, the gun was smoking. I mean, it was hot. Zero malfunctions. Mm-hmm. I mean, zero issues. And I was like, wow, this is pretty amazing. So I was pretty much sold on it at that point, but we kept it for approximately 2 or 3 more weeks, doing all kinds of different tests. I mean, we tried to muddy it up, dirty it up, doing all kinds of things. Kept it oiled and it ran great. I mean, and to this day, we probably have of our issued at least 10,000 plus rounds, 10 to 15,000 rounds in them at minimum. And we've had zero malfunctions, zero issues. So it speaks highly of the product, obviously. But
oh, for sure. I mean, I definitely think with a lot of things like that, I mean, the money portion of it for some agencies is difficult. So, I mean, what would you say to some law enforcement agencies who do kind of are a little bit on the fence, maybe like at least thinking about, hey, maybe we'll look at Staccato? What would you tell them?
Well, I've always been my mindset is pretty hardcore when it comes to things. I like to visualize a lot, put myself in bad scenarios. So I would say, if this is your loved one, whoever you love most in this world, my son, my wife, they're in a situation like a hostage situation or something. Do you want? I mean, the facts are the facts. When I lined my guys up, they shot better. The time splits were faster. So not only were they accurate, they were faster. The gun's dependable. It's like if I'm going to take them and put them, if they're going to enter this threshold, this opening, and go into battle, I want them to be faster and more accurate. You know, the old saying, fast is fine, but accuracy is final. Well, with this particular gun, the XC specifically, we were accurate, more accurate and faster.
Did that surprise them?
Yes. Yes, and it's the splits, you're talking 6 to 8 rounds a second, easy. And it's like, if I'm going into battle with that, or I'm going to I want my loved one, as any other citizen, or, for you guys, like I'd serve, protect, help you guys with anything. So we want to save lives. We want to help them. I know budgetary constraints. I understand that. I deal with it every day. There's ways, there's options, there's ways to put yourself in a position. And if it's your loved one's life on the line, you can't put a price on that. And when you start looking into it with the lifetime guarantee, they've got the officer-involved shooting program, overnight your weapons. Ricky's coming out in July to help us. He's coming out to
training.
He's great.
Break down and inspect and change out components every year. Armor's course free. Every one of my guys, they're their own armor for the course. Staccato come and taught the course. Transition course, anybody that was unfamiliar with the platform, they make them super happy with it, comfortable, everything. So they not only know how to clean, functionality, inspect, complete breakdown of the weapon, they've also are teaching you how to actually run the weapon. So you're confident at the end of it. You leave the range and they're basically saying, you're good, right? You have to shake your head. Yes, I'm good. 100%, I understand this gun. I'm good with it. And then we incorporated additional. These guys, like I said, they're going to train anyway. And so they're always dry firing. It's just become second nature. So it really wasn't that big of a deal as far as transition. Locally, we've got 3 agencies within Gaston who are running Staccatos now. And I've spoke with all of those, and they're all zero issues. Zero issues. They have not had one issue whatsoever. And I know I'm rambling on, but
no. Well, it brings the question up for me. So, obviously, I know a lot of your SWAT guys, it sounds like they're shooters. So this will probably answer this question, but for both of you as well, because you interact with tons of different just law enforcement across the entire nation. I assume your team and a lot of the guys and ladies that you guys talk to and see are not having any issues transitioning to Staccatos from whatever they were previously using.
No, and it's like anything, right? There's a learning curve. So our products are going to be different than a traditional striker fire pistol, right? So there's going to be a hammer involved. There's going to be an external safety. So there's that initial, okay, hey, the ergonomics might be a little bit different, but it's all kind of that repetition. And once they kind of get the familiarities down, the transition is smooth. And especially because the products are such high quality that shooting them is a joy. So it makes people have a better experience when they kind of first start to kind of get into it and get comfortable with it a little bit quicker than they would with something else.
Do you tend to see that as well, just because the takedown obviously is a little bit different depending on the gun? It can be a little more involved. So do you see any issues with that at all? Or again, just like you said, just getting used to doing it itself and then you're fine.
It's just like that. Yeah. It's just like Strick was talking about, you get an armorer's course, you get someone to come out and show you how to do it. And the reps are all the exact same way. We're all very, very well versed in these products at this point. So you demonstrate it once. A lot of people are like, hey, can I try it after that? So you let them kind of go ahead and get hands on and try to, manipulate it themselves. And just like anything else, it becomes second nature pretty quickly.
I was actually going to say that our Staccatos, I honestly found it a lot easier to break that down than other models. My personal opinion.
Just other models of guns?
Other models, honestly. I could break it down in seconds. Yeah. I'm very comfortable with it. And then with the HD coming out with the backstrap safety not there anymore.
I don't know, that's a whole different ball game for takedown.
Yeah. But as far as transitioning, we're talking about transition. I'm sorry, I was thinking about it while we were talking about it. It's so much easier to transition someone, with our HD P4 or 4.5 without the backstrap safety now. So it's one less thing to transition
one less thing from the platform. I guess you don't have to worry about.
And that's exactly just kind of to your point. We're going through that transition right now where it's a different takedown system than we're used to. So we're just like any other end user where they're seeing it for the first time, and we're kind of going, okay, hey, we got to figure out the best way to take this down quickly and most efficiently. So
do you ever catch yourself having to stop as you're explaining to people, be like, oh, this is the different.
I mean, we did it out there earlier. Strick and I were talking before you came in here, and when I was like, all right, yeah, like, we'll go over it, but yeah, it's a little bit different, but yeah.
Well, I remember, so like with obviously it being important what you put on your hip, has there actually been a point or any type of situation you'd like to share where you actually felt the staccato, like it proved why that's the thing that you and your entire team are taking out every day?
So as far as immediate, like real world results that I've noticed has been qualifications. The standard, our standard on the team is 95, which everybody shoots 100. It's like, if you shot a 95, you might as well just take your gear and walk off the range. You suck, basically. But they shoot 100, but the guys that are running the staccatos now, it's like, okay, you're shooting 100. Well, let's cut the time in half. Okay, let's cut it to, if it's 60 seconds to shoot X amount of rounds, let's do that in 10 seconds now. Like, it's crazy the numbers they're doing because qualifications are so easy. I was speaking with Lieutenant Cape from Belmont PD earlier today, and they have 65, so they transitioned their entire agency over to the C2. And he said their qualification standards with the previous platform to Staccato now went from 87, 88 average overall to above 95 now. Wow. So that kind of gives you an idea of, he said the confidence levels they're so, at first, they were like, I don't know if we want this gun. This is different. But now everybody's loving it. And it's the same way with us with the XCs. It's just, it makes things very, very simple. So the standards, that's just immediate, first reaction I get when you ask me that question is the standards are just, they're just shooting so much better now and faster, it's so fast.
Confidence goes a long way.
Yeah, and confidence, the mental game of that, like the psychological aspect of being that confident. Yep. I guarantee they could take, again, I was talking to Cape earlier, and he said that he knows for a fact that if his guys have to get into an officer-involved shooting, a shot maybe they would not take because of distance or it's sketchy. Yeah. Now they're like, I'm willing to do that now.
Yeah. They're trusting not only their abilities, but the tool they have with them. Yeah.
Well, so I'm sure obviously you hear a ton of it with feedback like that. How much of that feedback are you guys actually using in either in just improving guns that you guys have, designing new guns, or just originally in the Staccato brand as it was incepted for duty and professional use? Like where did that kind of all come in terms of just building the brand?
We're always listening.
Yes.
We constantly listen to feedback from what people are asking for, and we're taking that. With the new HD, there's so many different changes to that pistol that we listened to the public that they were asking for. The ambidextrous everything, the requiring Glock magazines, Series 80. So there was a lot put into that pistol. We kind of took everyone's feedback, and we were like, okay, you asked exactly what the marketing is. It's like we listened, like California, we listened. We just got on the roster in California, which is incredible for us. So we're excited about that. So you'll see our HD P4s in California.
That's going to be a huge, that's going to be a big
huge.
one.
I actually moved out of California, but now I'm in Texas. I'm in the best state ever. But I'm very excited for California to be able to sell our guns now to the public.
Yeah, obviously that's going to, I would imagine, expand the law enforcement 100%. Market out there too. And even just some of the law enforcement as civilians, they can just buy and have tons of them and share and just explode the brand. Yeah. With especially like you guys in terms of Staccato when it originally started, from the rebranding, you guys were known as, generally speaking, a much more competition-oriented company. Most of your guns were tailored towards 3-gun, multi-gun, USPSA, anything sort of in that sphere. Talk about a little bit, if you can, sort of when the decision was made to decide to rebrand and then go into a vastly different market of everyday carry firearms, incredibly reliable guns, like anything that anyone would want to carry, again, for EDC or, like Captain Strickland for duty.
Yeah, so kind of coming from those STI days and making those competition race guns, the U.S. Marshals approached some folks at Staccato and said, hey, we have a lot of guys that are running the traditional 45 ACP single stack 1911s, and we have an interest in kind of blending the two things, blending the two STI race gun concept with the 1911 Heritage platform. And so they went ahead and they were able to kind of develop a double stack 1911. So 2011 is what we officially trademarked it as. And that kind of took off from there. We felt that was kind of the future, the way forward, the company at the time. And it just kind of set the path for us. It was something that nobody else had really been doing. They weren't able to make a very reliable duty-based and duty-oriented 2011 double stack 9mm pistol. So kind of taking that next step with the Marshals and looking at law enforcement agencies across the country that were in the exact same kind of pickle, if you will. They were having the same kind of issues, and the same need was there. We were able to expand that and grow our brand, and we're in over 1,700 law enforcement agencies right now across the country. So
that's awesome. That's insane.
It's paid off greatly for us. And kind of going back to that HD and innovation question, we listened to not only the aftermarket consumer, but we also listened to a lot of law enforcement agencies and said, okay, hey, we're in a lot of law enforcement agencies as it is right now. Why aren't we getting contracts going forward? What can we do to help improve our brand, improve our product, and open more doors for ourselves going forward? So.
And did you guys, when you sort of made that transition, was there any changes like to the magazine or anything specific that you guys sort of altered to specifically accommodate changing to a double stack 9mm?
Yeah, so there were a couple tweaks here and there. Coming from the original like MBX magazines and going to more of a checkmate style. There were some different tweaks that were made to make it optimized to run faster, more reliable, more durable. So there were some things kind of over the course of the last 8 to 9 years that have kind of led us to this point.
Generally speaking, you look on almost any forum from 15, 20 years ago, it didn't really matter. A lot of the brands that was thought to be a lot of people's issues with that platform was the magazine. And it seems like you and us and other people have really figured it out, but Staccato seems to be like leading the way, especially with the Staccato mag specifically, like I said, the different feed lips, being able to just get more reliability.
Yeah.
Are you seeing any of the same sort of things that law enforcement wants out of these guns, the features? Are you seeing a lot of the same things from the civilian side, or are they looking for vastly different things, which is, I guess, why we have such a wide range of models?
I think it all depends on what topic. Like I'm pretty sure like when I was in LE, I was looking for different things. Well, now that I'm not, I look for other things are more important to me than they were, on the LE side. So, but then again, I'm biased. So I'm going to say, we have like that one pistol that can do both worlds kind of thing. Yeah. That makes sense. So maybe biased.
Yeah, and the nice thing is we've grown to a point where we can offer something for everybody at this point, right? So you get people that are out there, they want to carry what law enforcement's carrying, whether it's a P or an XC, and then you got a lot of people that are, I really only want it for concealed carry or for competition, right? So you have a CS, you have an XL. So we've grown to a point where we can offer something for everybody, and they can get in on a reliable, very, very durable pistol.
Do you guys tend to see people gravitate towards certain models specifically, or
it's all use case really is really what it comes down to. Like I said, it's, if you're going to use it strictly for concealed carry, it's for this, for competition, it's for that. We have a couple of things that we like to say are kind of do it all based on their size and their capabilities. But we do have some best sellers. I think that the P and the XC are going to be the two that primarily sell the most. So
we call the P the Goldilocks guy.
It is,
because it's
kind
like
of can do
not
a little bit
too
of everything.
Hot, not too cold.
That's right.
You legit can do anything.
Do everything
with
with
it.
it.
I mean, it shoots like a full-size gun.
You can use it on duty. You can compete with it. It's legit.
That's right.
The Goldilocks.
Well, then I guess what is everybody's, because I'm curious, what is everybody's favorite Staccato, and or what would you be carrying both on duty and off duty Staccato specific?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
I have a couple. The XC is my favorite range gun, and that's in a pinch. That's what I would use for home defense, for the range. I carry a full size C with a compensator on the end of it because for me that gun is small enough to carry.
Yes.
The grip is perfect, a 17 round mag, and the compensator on the end with that threaded barrel just makes it shoot like a much larger gun. So it's very reliable, very flat shooting, and small enough to conceal. So.
Probably would be similar to my answer, but we'll hear Lily first.
Mine. So I do have an old school single stack C that I love, but I am veering more towards the CS for concealed carry. Obviously, as females, we don't have a lot of real estate around the waist, and different clothing. Obviously, we wear it tighter. So the CS I mean, I rock it at work every day, usually. Everyday carry. My other one is the XL. I cannot tell you, I love that gun so much. I actually have done some competitions with it. It is cheating. I feel a little guilty. Okay, no, I don't. But when I go to competitions, it's like it's the longest barrel that we have. I think it's the flattest shooting. He will argue with me because he likes the XC, but I'm like, I love the XL.
It's a 50-50 down there,
It
man.
is.
50-50
It really
at Staccato.
is.
It's the XC or the XL for everybody. So
What type of competition shooting do you do specifically?
I've put my toe in I've dabbled in a Lewis USPSA and then IDPA. I think I got set up my first competition because if I sell pistols, I should be a Swiss Army knife, right? Like I should be well-rounded. I could give you my civilian side. I could give you, female EDC carry style. I could give you prior military, prior law enforcement. And I'm like, what am I lacking? I don't have any competition shooting. So I was like, hey guys, I'm gonna go do this competition. And I'm the kind of person, I will just jump in. I will not test the water. I will just jump in full force. Can I borrow a pistol? And they're like, yeah. So they gave me the XC. Well, I did not know that. You can see where this is going, right? It puts me in the open division, and I'm out there first competition. I don't even know what. And he's like, clear and show, show safe, whatever. And I'm like, he's like, shooter ready. I'm like, I think so. I don't know. Am I? Like, you tell me, sir, you're running the show. He's like, this is where you say you're ready. And I'm like, oh, for God's sakes. Like,
well, especially in the competition, at least for me as a civilian, I'm not doing a lot of real world shooting, thankfully, but that's, any moving and shooting to me tends to be the place that really kind of cuts the teeth of like what I feel about a gun and how it shoots, at least for me. We all have slightly different ways we might shoot, but trigger, especially specifically in competition, like having a 2.5, 3.5 pound trigger, depending on exactly what you're shooting and where it's set at. Like you said, it feels like cheating. I'm not upset about it. Like I definitely will take any advantage I get, especially in anything firearms related. But I mean, the triggers are phenomenal. And I think things like that, to your point about, guys being confident they can take significantly longer shots more accurately, like obviously is huge. So then what's obviously I know what you carried, but what is your favorite or what do you carry EDC?
So yes, it's obviously the XC. Again, I'm fortunate enough I didn't have to necessarily pay for it myself. So that's what I carry. But I am familiar with the other. I've shot the CS. Actually, Ricky hooked me up before it even was released and allowed me to shoot it and all that kind of thing. So that's all of them are awesome. The HD though, I'm interested, like off camera, playing around with that. Like I haven't shot it. So tomorrow, definitely, I'm going to. I'm looking forward to that.
Looks awesome.
And I think that's an awesome concept because, like we said, out there, everybody's got Glock mags. So it's one of those things. I know I have like 100 at least. Yeah. So one of my good buddies who helps me on the range, Rodney, I bet you he's got 400 Glock mags, something outrageous. So, I mean, that's just like a perfect spot. And it felt awesome. The trigger was amazing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for a Series 80 trigger, it's fantastic.
So are you also concealed carrying an XC?
No.
I was about to ask the same thing.
I'm a full-size 2011 guy. I would love to. That would be all day. I'd have to have a big baggy shirt probably.
I have. Depending on the holster,
that'd be awesome.
Actually not too bad.
I've seen it done.
Yeah.
Numerous events. I can't tell you because we'll be doing events and we're like, what are you concealing? And they'll flash it. I'm like, oh, it's an XC.
Yeah, especially when you go to some of those colder climate, northeast or northern ones. You're going to
it's worth a video because
it, full-size gun,
it can be done. You just have to dress around some of it. But you totally can can conceal a lot bigger firearms, I think, than people realize.
Yes.
I've tried concealing the XL. It is not pretty. Just saying.
Oh, that one's long. That might be a little too long. Just an extra inch.
Right.
Well, I guess, especially for you guys, because you brought up the P. Talk to me a little bit about that. That's recently released, as well as the new sight block version that's coming out very soon.
Yep. So the new HD P4 came out in January. We announced that at SHOT Show, and the release was shortly after that. The HD P4.5 is slated to debut here in the next month or so. So we'll have that out the door to dealers here soon. The biggest change with it is Glock mag compatibility. So we designed the gun around OEM Glock magazines, works with Magpul PMags, and ships with steel metal Mekar magazines. So depending on the package you buy, you get 2, 3, or 4 magazines with those. They're 18 round capacity instead of 17. It's Glock 17 length and pattern magazines for anyone working or looking for that specifically. So yeah, the biggest change with the Glock mags, there's no backstrap safety on it. It's fully ambidextrous, fully drop safe, Series 80 pistol. We kind of added a natural shelf on both sides so that you have more of a natural gas pedal. So you get that extra point of contact on your support thumb. It's a 4-inch pistol, 4.5 inch for the sight block version. That's a non-reciprocating sight block mass on the end. That's going to be a one-piece metal, just like our XC is. It's not comped, but it's one piece of metal. It's not threaded on and timed or anything like that. So you're going to get ultra reliability and consistency out of that. And it shoots very flat. I think you and I were out there shooting a little bit earlier. They're both fantastic pistols.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one is if I could just buy a gun off of looks, I think that would definitely be
4 or 5,
kind of near the top of the list.
Yeah.
So talk to me, because I know you said that it ships with metal mags.
Yep.
Obviously, you can use regular polymer Glock mags. Can you talk me through the difference between those two? Because I imagine when this was released and announced, everything exploded for you guys. It was obviously massive news to have a 2011 platform gun accepting Glock mags.
Yeah.
So kind of talk me through like what the difference between the two mags are, in terms of if there's a difference in shelf life or, when I should be using one versus the other.
Gotcha. Yeah. So as far as shelf life goes, it's all going to come down to how much you're using and abusing it, right? So if you're taking your stuff and you're shooting thousands of rounds like SWAT officers are going to do, you're probably going to shred through a polymer mag a little bit faster than you are a steel magazine, right? So we kind of felt that the reliability and the longevity of the metal magazines was going to be better for our product long term. And then we also kind of felt that it completed that traditional 2011, 1911 feel by having a metal magazine.
I mean, it literally feels exactly like a 2011. And I know off camera we were talking, you were just kind of mentioning some of the massive benefits for law enforcement agencies as they transition. Just the ability to not have to buy tons and tons of new metal mags for a different platform gun. Kind of some of the stuff we had discussed, like talk us through the benefits of a agency switching to one of these types of guns where they already have probably, hundreds and hundreds of Glock mags just kind of sitting there ready to use.
Well, I mean, initially the price argument that somewhat offsets it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys can talk about the law enforcement specific programs and the discounts. The company as a whole was great to deal with. Again, like circling back to our T&E process, but once we made the purchase, we went with, as far as the pistol mounted optic, we went with the Aimpoint Acro P2. It was kind of just being released at that time. They were awesome to deal with as far as sending those out, but I shipped those directly to Staccato, and they mounted, zeroed the whole nine. So when we received our XCs, they were ready to go out of it. Like, you don't get that kind of customer service from anybody I've dealt with. Like, it's been an awesome experience overall dealing with Staccato. Like I said, it's not as expensive as people think, especially when you look at never having to go to another pistol. So it's kind of sweet having the Glock mags. I mean, like I said, everybody has them. That's just part of it. And that will definitely help offset some expenses. So,
well, I guess then, so is there anything for anybody watching, is there anything that you guys do for law enforcement agencies who are transitioning or considering transitioning, and or just things you do for law enforcement training wise that maybe somebody doesn't know that Staccato actually does? Because you guys are passionate and you are very much kind of beating to the drum that you're telling people you're beating from. Sometimes that isn't the case with companies, and you can very, very much tell just with the passion you guys talk about things, even off camera, that you guys are living it. So kind of just tell me a little bit about that.
Well, we have an entire team that's on the LE side that takes care of all that. They will lead with the transitioning classes. They're also, like Steven said, Ricky's coming out to do, the armory class for them. So, I mean, it's a continuous journey where they're there to help you the entire way from, if they need any kind of documentation as far as like T&E goes, or if they need help transitioning, or I mean, it's like a custom course for that specific department. It's not like here's our pistol. It's like we will absolutely lead you the whole way to get that transitioned into your department. So
it's effectively like complete full service.
It's full service,
like whatever these departments need.
Oh my God, yeah, I can't tell you. Our LE team is amazing. I mean, probably Steven can vouch for that.
yeah, it's been an awesome experience for sure.
Okay, so I guess having also experienced the brand that is Staccato, what would be, I guess, one word for you that kind of describes the brand?
One word, it's
You might be sneaking a few extra words too.
I'd say a few. It's been an awesome experience. Yep, that's what I say. 2 words: awesome experience.
I would say family. It is like a Staccato family. Once you own a Staccato LE or civilian, it's like, are you part of the Staccato family? Because we do really make you feel like you're part of the family kind of thing. So.
Well, I know it says, it seems like you were saying, a lot of the people who work at Staccato come from somewhat similar-ish backgrounds. It tends to be just like that group of people kind of collectively get together. So I could imagine it would be a lot like a family.
Yeah, it really is. And I think we have about 25% of our workforce is veteran or LE in some capacity in the past. But we like to say, 25% veteran LE, 100% patriot, right? So we got a lot of people that everyone there truly clocks in every single day, and they believe in the brand, they believe in what they're doing, and they want to make sure that they make a quality product for the end user.
Well, and obviously, I know we have a gun that has not released yet. Mm-hmm. However, what is on the next couple months, year on the horizon for Staccato? What should we be looking for? Kind of give us a little sneak peek.
You didn't say you were going to ask this question out there. No.
Yeah, it's.
So we're just going to say the 4.5 is coming out.
Awesome.
And we will leave it at that.
Yeah.
We're always like one of our always forwards, so we're always moving.
Continuous innovation. We're always looking to improve in any way we can. They're always hard at work. The engineers sequestered off kind of in their own little teeny area, so they're working hard. So
that's great. Well,
I'd like to ask a question about this process as well. So where do you get your advice from? Like the engineers is sequestered, like is this like the lab rat, but where is the intel? Like where's these ideas? Is it coming from the end users?
You're talking about for consumer? Yeah. So a lot of it is going out and talking to people and saying, hey, especially for this product specifically, was a lot of consumer and LE. And on the consumer side, it was, hey, why do you want our pistol? What do you like about it? What don't you like about it? And then also with the people that don't have our pistol, hey, why don't you have one yet? What do you like about it? What's holding you back from making that purchase? Right. And then on the LE side, like I mentioned earlier, it was a lot of going out to agencies and departments that we're not in yet and saying, hey, okay, what do we have to do to meet the requirements that you have for your agency, to outfit your officers, whether it's SVU, SWAT, or even just a regular patrol unit. So yeah, it's a lot of going out and just kind of getting feedback on both sides of the ball, right? Figuring out what people love, what people don't love, and just kind of continuing to innovate from there with that feedback.
Right.
We did like a sneak peek for the HDs, and we went to like premier dealers like Blackstone, and we would do like a sneak peek, and then we asked the people that we invited, like the VIPs, we asked them, what do you think it will be? And it was kind of interesting on what they would say, because it was one of the items that we've included into the HD, but it was never all of them. And they were like, when they saw it, they were like, oh my God, like you legit took everything we've been asking for and put it in one. Yeah,
it was a lot of people, exactly like you said, it was people were asking for 1 or 2 things, but then we delivered, the 10 dream list that they had been asking for. They expected 1 or 2, they didn't expect all 10 or whatever it was. So,
nice.
I think we hit a home run with it. And I think, like I said, the continuous innovation going forward is going to be very important. And I think it's very promising and people are going to be really excited about it. So
I guess sort of like with the lab rat kind of concept too, do you guys have one or the other in terms of either like the tactical professional or the EDC side where you're focused more on, and then the other one gets just some of those features because they happen to be awesome? Or is it kind of symbiotically,
you're talking about
designing guns for both law enforcement and the civilian side?
You're talking about like existing product line or the new stuff going forward?
Both.
So yeah, existing product line, like I said, I mean, we've got a little something for everybody, right? So I think we've placed a very important emphasis on making sure that we reach all parts of the market that we possibly can. And that's going to be the exact same thing going forward. We're going to continuously look at how the market's evolving, how consumer spending habits and demand is kind of evolving, and just kind of try to meet those demands and get ahead of it, right? Get ahead of it and set the pace for other companies going forward. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's moving fast. Well, and then, just to kind of give you at least a last, word for any of our viewers, especially law enforcement agencies, what would you tell people is like, hey, I'd get a Staccato. I know sometimes, finances can be, different for everybody, but if I can find a way to, acquire one, why Staccato?
Is for
just in term, and for both, like why do I want one? Like, last word, what's the buying force behind your passion and trust in the Staccato brand, and like I would want to share that with others.
Yeah, I mean, it's twofold. I mean, it affects both the civilians and law enforcement, military. You're just as likely nowadays, unfortunately, run up in an active shooter situation at church or at the local Walmart or something. So you don't have to be duty. Typically, civilians are the first ones to interact and nowadays take out a possible suspect or bad guy or whatever. Home invasion, there could be all kinds of things like that. Accuracy, I mean, you're accountable 100%. Like we like to say, there's a lawsuit attached to every round. That's in the civilian side as well. People don't realize that's not just law enforcement. If you're out, someone's trying to rob you or something crazy goes on, insert whatever situation. Like, again, I'm always thinking about things, putting myself in those positions. If there's a lawsuit, there's civil liability attached to that. If you miss and round goes across the parking lot, like you're accountable for that. Ultimately, you're accountable. No matter what your situation is, you're accountable for that. So why not have, again, circling back, full spin to a faster, more accurate weapon? Like, spend the money, it's worth it. Yeah. It's like, same thing with ammo. Buy good stuff. Like, all your gear. We talked about medical off camera. Like, I carry medical, tourniquet, occlusive dressings, combat galls, gloves, all these things, all my vehicles. I mean, my wife thinks I'm OCD and crazy, but my son, I mean, he knows how to throw a tourniquet on at 14 years old and fully, slap some chest seals on and all that. All this is,
you never know when you need to use it.
That's it. It's all, so the weapon should be the same. Like, be prepared, buy good products, buy good stuff. Like your life depends on it, right? Because it does.
Especially with tourniquets. You hear it all the time. It's like, carry a gun, obviously, is super important, but chances I need to use a tourniquet or have any type of just basic trauma medical training is definitely high. And it's obviously useful in so many applications.
If you're training to take a life, you should be able to save a life.
That's I mean, I think ultimately train.
Easy to do. Yep. Easy to train on. So hopefully that answers somewhat.
100%. That answers my question perfectly. Well, for you two guys, anything you want to leave us with for Staccato?
I was just speaking to a gentleman at the the event day today at Blackstone, and he was telling me after, proof is in the pudding, come out and shoot, whatever. We could talk all day long how great our pistols are. Please, if you have a chance, please shoot one of our pistols. You're absolutely going to love it. We don't talk. The pistol sells itself. The gentleman was saying how he legit is going to go through his safe and go through all the abundance of pistols that he has, because this is the one he wanted, because he shot it and he likes it. He loved it. Quality's amazing. And then you can't beat our customer service. Of course, I'm biased, but I honestly have not heard different companies where they say, oh my God, your customer experience department is amazing. Like, yeah.
I'm sure in today's world, you guys take a ton of pride in hearing things like that.
Like I said, it's legit family. Like, we will help you out as much as we can. If you own one of our guns, you're part of our family. Yeah, and it is. I mean, law enforcement, it is. Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
Yeah, like Lilo said, I mean, it's one of those things where the proof's in the pudding, right? You come out to a demo event and you shoot it, you're going to want it, right? They really sell and shoot themselves. And at the end of the day, you're supporting an American-made product that's made by Patriots for Patriots, right? It's an American-made product. We don't outsource anything. Everything we do is American-made and assembled and built in Texas. So,
I mean, like you said, the guns sell themselves. I would definitely tell people that if you can, if you have a bunch of extra guns laying around, you're not shooting, to find a way, maybe sell a couple and get any type of Staccato that you can, because they are absolutely worth it. The way they shoot, just like you said, the confidence that it gives you shooting, especially faster. There's not, honestly, at least for me, a price that I'm putting on things like that. Especially when I'm carrying a gun.
You were tearing it down earlier with no problem. So
I was missing very fast. I can tell you that much. Which I can do that. I can do that.
I've never seen anybody waste ammo so quickly.
I can miss just as fast as they can. I promise.
Yeah. Speaking on the fact of selling themselves, just by us purchasing these weapons and allowing others to shoot them, the sales in this area have skyrocketed.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, we were talking about that off
every
camera.
guy that I know on the team, like, they go and buy their own personal. Like, if the agency doesn't provide it, they're buying them. And now I've got, shout out to Ron. He knows he's spent a lot of money last year between him and his wife on Staccatos. I think they bought every pistol make model that Staccato has.
Good.
Like, in 1 year.
The dream.
Thanks, Ron, and his wife. Thank
Ron,
you.
thank you. Shout out, Ron.
Yeah, he's but he's just one example. Rodney here earlier. I mean, there's so many. Like they start right off the bat buying an XC and then they go. So I'm sure this HD is going to be an awesome addition.
I'd imagine a lot of, just SWAT and police meeting you guys and actually being like, we have switched to these guns. That probably does change a lot of minds to actually talk to somebody who does it every day, because that's the reliability portion is always going to be what, no matter what somebody's carrying, is at the front of their mind. And knowing that you guys have ran XCs and they do not haven't malfunctioned through any of your testing, through any of Staccato's testing, obviously, because I know you guys have extensively tested all of these guns and firearms before they get released. So I mean, it's pretty cool. It's cool to see that you guys, honestly, I can say this pretty confidently, you've single-handedly revitalized the 2011 and double stack 1911 market, like almost single-handedly. It was something that I felt like was dwindling as a consumer. And then the second, the shift happened, it was just explosion. So obviously I can thank you for that because again, it's my favorite platform. Yeah. And I really would like to just thank you guys for actually, sitting down, spending time with us, doing some shooting. That's obviously always fun. Yep. And hopefully you'll join us again for another little fun time here, hopefully soon.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sure. Our pleasure. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, that's it for us. Please join us next time on the Range. This is Captain Strickland, Lily, and Mike from Staccato. We'll see you next time.